Hi everyone, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly horoscope. My name is Terence Scardino. Well, the week begins on Monday, July the 17th, with the sun still shining in Cancer. Cancer gives more this general tone every July of being more domestic, more family-oriented, more self-protective, and could be more emotional and moody. But by Saturday, the sun moves into outgoing, extroverted, dynamic Leo. Leo is a fire sign, and for those next 4 weeks, there's going to be more fiery, inspiration, motivation, as kind of just a background energy. Whereas we're in the last week of Cancer, which is a water sign, and water tends to be more sensitive, more emotional, more self-reflective, more inward. Whereas the sun moves into fiery Leo, our activities tend to be more outward. So that's just kind of this, there's this interesting shift that's going to be happening by next weekend. But on Monday you got to be very careful about relationships. Venus, the planet of love and diplomacy, Venus is that pleasure-seeking planet, will be in a challenging aspect, a tension to confusing, nebulous Neptune. It can mean at times that you could be swept away with romanticism, but because of the tension, you may not be dealing with reality, and then there could be disappointments later. Or on Monday, because you're also going to have impatient, impulsive Mars in a stressful angle to rebellious Uranus. That Mars-Uranus could trigger these sudden arguments. In some cases, could be some accidents, but it all depends on your individual horoscope. But with Venus in difficult angle to Neptune, there might be some disappointments, some confusion, some uncertainty with personal relationships, triggered with the Mars-Uranus. That could indicate the disappointments could trigger a fight, a blow-up. So Monday, you might be feeling it late into Sunday night, maybe a bit into the first part of Tuesday, but primarily on Monday, what you want to do is breathe, think before engaging your mouth. There's too much potential here for feeling very hurt feelings, disappointing feelings that could create an argument. But if you are practicing detachment, you're stopping and thinking about your words, then you can just get through that day. But whatever might blow up on Monday, relationship-wise, on Tuesday, it's all forgiveness. That's because now the Venus is moving away from disappointing, confusing Neptune, and by Tuesday, now Venus is in an excellent aspect to expansive, optimistic Jupiter. Now, it's also a day with Venus-Jupiter of indulgence, spending too much money, could even be attracting money. Certainly a good day for socializing, feeling much more outgoing. So whatever might have blown up on Monday, there's a good chance for forgiveness and reconciliation on Tuesday. On Wednesday, now communication, Mercury, will be excellent with Saturn. And maybe now that's when you can maybe really talk things out, be more rational, communicate in a much more practical, honest way. But in general, this is a very favorable day for any type of business, because Mercury can be analytical and practical, and when it's great with Saturn, this brings in this business acumen, being very logical and pragmatic to make the best business decisions. By Thursday, now the Sun is triggering Uranus, which happens 4 times a year. And on the positive, this is a day that there's like exciting new opportunities that come in out of the blue. Could also be a day when you get these sudden insights and revelations. It could also be a day if you're in a rut that this will shake things up. There is a lot of excitement, but also a lot of instability. So you don't want to be resistant to change, because that will only create a lot of tension. But be more open for trying new things, going on a new adventure, maybe having, an opportunity to make some sudden decisions. And then by Saturday, now the Sun has left emotional, sensitive Cancer and has moved into dynamic, extroverted Leo. And for the weekend, Saturday night going into Sunday, you might be feeling a lot more social, more playful. You see Leo also being very fiery and extroverted. Leo rules the domain of children, creativity, romance, parties, and that is going to be much more in the overall consciousness for those next 4 weeks. Before I tune off, I want to remind you I'm available for the 1-question offer at Astrology Answers website for a nominal fee. The time of birth is always important, and I recommend that if you're going to request the service, that in the message where you're giving your question to me, is in that message put your birth information, the time, the city, the state, or even the country if you're not in the United States. I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week for my next segment. Until then, have a great week.